right. So we had a little bit of a hiccup on Discord, and we're going to go live on YouTube instead. So let's just pop it in the chat. I'll share the link. So that we can all join. Give me 1 sec. Live on YouTube. Let's go. Let's ping you here, and we can get cracking. Let's go. Sorry for the wait. All right. Let's have a little bit of a look what the market looks like. Looks like it's dumping. Why are we? Okay. What is happening? Having some serious dampage action, but we talked about it. Last week. We saw this week. Obviously, that was a big liquidation, and then we saw this massive week. This was a $10 billion liquidation day, so it was inevitable for the market to come and at least revisit some of this price action. That's what we talked about. You can see now on a daily, we basically just did some equal lows just there, which if we look down on a 4-hour, I'm sure we can see some sort of liquidity being created here. So expect this this level to be taken out for sure. I'll say this level will be taken out. So yeah, I mean the price action that we talked about last week looks like it's eventuating. We can see here, obviously, this was what we discussed. So we were expecting some sort of up, down, up again move, and we're getting just that. So obviously we were traced up, we took some liquidity, and now we are going likely to revisit this this price action. And it wouldn't surprise me if we go back into this key area right here, which is obviously where we formed the lows. As long as we close above that 93,000, we still remain bullish, and this is nothing else but a bearish pullback. But this is why I don't like playing leverage at the moment for this week's here. This was an obvious long, you can see, so low, high, higher, high. This was kept the low, so this would have been a nice long, but obviously this week right here liquidated everyone, and similar to this liquidated everyone. So I'm staying away from leverage. That's the short story. Yeah, good morning. Sorry for the Discord fam. Sorry. I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know what happened. So Discord was set to Australia, but I'm currently streaming from Japan. So I think we need to change the server. That's why it wasn't letting us connect. So having a look at BTC, nothing too unexpected, but I did see big dumps or bigger dumps as we can expect from alts. So ETH is looking shocking, unfortunately. We did talk about this price action if we hide everything. I think it was about here we were talking about it. One of my longs actually got a long setup got tagged when I was mid-flight, which was this one. So this week activated my long and almost stopped me out. You can see that. But I'm still in the trade, albeit I wasn't very confident this morning when I was having a look that this trade would actually, because I've got my stop loss at break even now, so I'm not crazy. Like I think we could see very much another look like that. So I'm not just gonna let the market take my money and liquidate me. I've got my stop loss at break even just to be safe. But yeah, looks like we might get some sort of reaction now in the 15 minutes. Let's have a little look. I'm not too hopeful on ETH at the moment. It's pretty bad. If we go on the 4-hour, actually, that's what I wanted to have a look. We can see structure is coming back into this candle. So this is a nice candle of interest. It has tagged us, but it's not really giving us a very strong reaction on the hourly yet. But on the 15 minutes, which is what we were just on, looks like we might get some sort of strength. So 1, 2, 3. So this is a nice doji candle. Usually we see this in reversal. And now we're seeing some nice bullish price action. Let's see if it holds. I'll probably say we want to see this high taken out, which on the hourly will probably coincide with the hourly structure, I would assume. Yep. So once we take and close above this high, then we can be a bit more, I guess, sure that this is a long setup that sticks. At the moment, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm in it. It was a setup that I took a long time ago, so nothing new there. But let's have a look, see how it goes. Obviously, we took out liquidity. I'll just clean up the charts a little bit because this is giving me anxiety just looking at it. So let's just clear up that. Let's clear up that. Yeah, and let's see. So ETH, expect lower. That's my bias. I'm expecting lower, but if we can hold this level and close above that, 2770 roughly, 2765, then good news. Let's have a look at Solana. Solana is obviously like other alts, not looking too rosy at the moment. However, I do like Solana at this level currently. This is something that I'd be inclined to long. I was looking at this possible setup the other day. It looks like I haven't looked at the chart for 3 days, so you can see 1, 2, 3. I haven't taken anything, but this could be a nice long setup currently at this very price action right here. A little bit blurry. Yeah, it might be my internet connection, team. I will try to move a little bit slower. The internet connection where I am is a little bit on the slower side, so I will try to move a little bit slower and not ziggity zaggity on the screen too much. Let me know in the chat if you, yeah. I'll try to explain more verbally as well. So even if it's a little bit blurry, we can have a look. So Solana, where it is currently on the daily, it's a really juicy level for a number of reasons. We are obviously on a very important fib level by the looks of it. If you take a little quick fib, yeah, we're in the 76 AIX bucket, which is our favorite area to take trade from. We already took liquidity with the candle that you can see has a little message there, liquidity grab at the top and liquidity grabbed at the bottom. So we are not only at a daily level, but also at a weekly level. You can see we've tapped into this really long, I guess, trend line, which has been taken out. So I count that as a mitigation already. It has been taken out with that little wick. And now I think I'll be inclined to long Solana from here personally, minding that we could very well see this equal lows taken out, even though we have already taken that out, that we could retest this kind of support area. So just be a little bit mindful if you do take this trade that we could see a big wick on the way down. So perhaps 2 entries will be a good idea here. I wouldn't mind having a second entry set up at this low. So that is at between 170 and say a stop loss around 150. So that could be an entry 2. But entry 1 at current price action with a stop loss around 176, it's not a bad play for where we are right now for Sol on leverage. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP has efficiently taken out a lot of liquidity. And what I mean by efficiently, you can see this big wick down here was probably the biggest wick on many of the alts, I would say. And that's nothing new because XRP loves to do this kind of price action, just grabs money and runs. But we are obviously revisiting this this area now. Let's have a look at in the lower time frame. I have a suspicion that XRP is done, and the reason is when we see this kind of really big impulse grabbing that much liquidity, you can see there was a very strong reaction on the other way. And now we are retesting the lows, but we have managed to keep the lows. So we haven't made any lower low, and we're starting, in fact, to make, if anything, some higher highs. So again, XRP might be at a good level here to play potentially with leverage. It is a little bit risky because this week has so much unmitigated area. It was such a big week. But I wouldn't mind trying an XRP long, basically with a very short stop right under this last low that we made, just to, if we are wrong, I like to be wrong quickly, and potentially seeing a retest of this 4-hour candle that we just printed not long ago. That was a nice candle here. You can see it took out liquidity, last low before a big high. So big move up. That's a nice candle to enter from. On the 1 hour, potentially we might have a better entry. Yeah, that was a nice, look at that, just came perfectly into it. These are the candles that we like to play off, and looks like we might just get a retest potentially. So if anyone is keen or doesn't have too many positions open in this market, I strongly recommend not to have too many positions open. I would say just wait for this trend line to be taken out, and then we can see some sort of move up. So an entry around $2.35 could be a good entry for XRP. I'll just do the entry here so we can see a little bit better. So somewhere, actually even 236, 236 and a stop loss at 225 for take profit. We can probably go up to the highs we printed earlier in that 4-hour candle that we can see here. So 270. So 236 entry, 225, 75 stop loss, and 2.70 as a take profit. I'll put this in the channel later on anyway, so I'll keep this here for now. If you want to take it live, you can. Otherwise, we'll just post it in the channel. Yes, so I do like these levels because we are in extreme fear. I wouldn't be surprised if we go and have a look at the extreme fear indicator if we were in it. Let's take a quick peek. Greed and fear index. Where are we at? Okay, well, we're in fear, but not extreme fear. So we'll see. See what happens. But I think another small push down is not out of the cards for overall the market. Let's look at total, which is obviously, oh, look at that, hey? Sexy and I have been talking about this level for so long. This is what I look at total. So total, this is on a daily, mind you. So we can see a very nice Elliott wave formation happening. So first 5 wave impulse was leg 1, then we have leg 2, leg 3. So we're currently potentially in a leg 5, meaning this is the last leg before a correction. How far this leg goes, it's hard to tell. Sometimes leg 5s are the longest, sometimes leg 3 is the longest. So we are currently in a leg 5. However, I don't like how we're starting to make these lower highs. You can see that was the high, and then this is a lower high, this is a higher high, and then this is a lower high. So we could potentially see some sort of ABC correction from this stage. So as long as the next leg 5 is explosive and hopefully higher than leg 3, it should take us probably to the 4 trillion mark, I think. So hopefully this was the end of the leg 4, and we don't go and retest closer to leg 1, which would take us to $2.36 trillion. We don't want to see that because obviously that means a lot more pain and a lot more bleeding for our alts. So hopefully this week was the last week before leg 5 commence. Keep an eye out. let's have a quick look at some of the alts. And in the meantime, if there's any alts specifically or meme coins that you want me to take a look in the chat, feel free to put them in. I'll go down my list. Usually I like to look at some of the AI coins. Currently, I've got a very strong feeling. I was looking at timeline briefly. Like I said, I've been traveling, so I didn't look too much, but it looks like very bearish sentiment all over. So XBT looking pretty good at AA6 area currently. So depends what you take. If you want to take it from below, we're just about the 76, really important level here for XBT. This kind of order block right here. That's there's a lot of action here. You can see a lot of demand indecision. Then obviously we've got the bulls taking over, and now we're revisiting property. At this stage, we're going to see if there's any bullish strength any left, and if there's not, we might take out this low, but if there is, I wouldn't be surprised if we explode up. So look out for reversal on XBT potentially sooner, potentially. ZEREBERO, I mean, there's nothing to see in this chart. It's just dumping. AI16Z is looking at, again, at a very interesting level. So these are the levels that I like to buy at discount. So when you see price here, don't let fear take over. Just this is a good level for discount if the project is worth it, if the project is vetted, if you have obviously a plan and your portfolio fits. So in this case, we are in fact below the AA6, which is pretty gnarly. So once you start going past the AA6, the strength and the chances for reversal tend to diminish. So that's why I like 786 better than AA6. However, AA6 obviously gives you a much higher risk to reward, but you could also see going back down and test the very lows. Virtuals back. Wow. Virtuals at a big discount now. Again, into this 786 AA6. This was the area that I put in Discord a while back where I was interested, and I did buy some virtuals down here. Looks like we've gone a little bit lower. I'm okay with that. We obviously sweeping these lows. You can see here. So we swept them with that big liquidation week the other day. And where do we stand here? Where do we go? Do we start eventually now making some sort of waves back up? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This was an ABC correction. So I like to see this kind of move now eventuating, and that would tell us that the dump is over. So keep an eye for a close above 150 on and off. Okay, well, sorry team, the internet is not the best. I will upload the recording. It's all recorded, so hopefully we can at least see the recording. Hype, it's at a good level. Again, we're making some higher highs, so that's good. Obviously, this big liquidity trend line taken out by this nice wick. Where do we go from here? Do we hold? We need to hold 22.75 here for hype. Otherwise, there is a chance that we go back and revisit all this wiki price action. I don't like that. There's a lot of imbalances there. So as long as we manage to keep 22.75, we should be good for hype. Cookie is at interesting level again. So probably leave this one for now. Not too interested. Yeah, there's a lot of price action below here. I don't like this big, obviously big gap, void, imbalance, whatever you want to call it, has been filled. But now looks like we might actually want to test below the 8 cents, which would be another 50% drop from here. So I am going to leave that one. This is a project that I was eyeing out. Again, AI agent, but interesting price, but shocking price action. So GRIFFAIN, probably not touching this yet. It's kind of like needs to find the bottom first. And I've been eyeing IMX for a while because it is at a really solid level. IMX, very good project, of course. We can see we have broken structure. This is not an AI agent, mind you. So I had just added down here because I was looking at it this morning. But we obviously made a low now. Just a matter of where do we actually stop? And chances are we're going to stop in this area right here. So between the 75 cents, I know it's a big, kind of a big block here that we can look at. There's going to be a lot of imbalances there. This is on a weekly. But if we lower, likely see some sort of imbalances that we are going to go and fill there. Okay, so you can see here straight away. So we're at 90 cents, which is where we are currently, roughly. Yeah, I'll probably wait for the 75 cents and below for IMX. If you don't have any gaming exposure, this is a solid project to add to your list. One of the best, in fact, I think, for gaming exposure. They have a bunch of partnerships and cool. Let's have a look. See, oh my gosh, look at Tau. Woofda. Okay, so Tau is part of my portfolio. Quite heavy, in fact. I've swapped a bunch of BTC for it, and you can see we're now entering this block price action right here, which was in my DCA zone. So anywhere between now and, well, even as low as 235, that's Tau prime real estate. There's no reason why Tau shouldn't go back to $700, even more, to be honest, and make new all-time highs. Tokenomics are great, utilities there. And if we manage to get in sub 300, that's an easy 2x. So this move alone would be a 2x. So no reason why. If you don't have any AI exposure, Tau should definitely be a part of your portfolio. Not financial advice, of course, but I would strongly look into it if I was you. Very good project, very good tokenomics, proof of work, and all that jazz. So other ones that I like to look at is early narratives. And early narratives, I am seeing again popping up on my timeline quite a bit of quantum buzz. And anytime there's quantum buzz, usually I try to look at what narratives are relating. And quantum resistant ledger is probably one of the very few, there's only about 2 or 3 really, but quantum resistant ledger is one of the few projects in crypto that are working with effectively quantum proofing their blockchain. And this is my DCA area right here. So I would be very inclined to DCA personally for my own portfolio. At this stage, we were talking about quantum resistant ledger down here months ago. It's all on recorded in our chats. And this candle, a bunch of candles, like a few candles, this was basically just Google announcing their quantum chip. So that's how quick a 2x or 3x can come in just a day by one post. So sometimes it's a little bit risky being early, but it's a narrative that I think will eventually stick, quantum resisting ledgers and blockchains. So we will face that security paradox as we progress with technology. And another lower market cap, these are lower cap coins, which we talked about and we called twice on our Discord, is Research Coin by Brian Armstrong, the founder of Coinbase. So first call was here. Obviously, we caught the 600% move. The second call was here. We caught another 180%. And now we're back into a very solid area. This was our DCA zone that we set up ages ago, and we are now tapping into it. You can see a big reaction. Now we are testing it again. So 50 cents. If this very low market coin, we're talking about very low market coin here, market cap for RSC. So if you do put in your portfolio, make sure it's no more than 1%. So 55 million max supply, as you can see, it's there. We're a little bit far from that circulating supply, but a 55 million market cap for a project by Brian Armstrong. Hard to not want to take a punt, to be honest. This could be from 48 to this high, it's a 3x. So this gap is a 3x just there, which I think is totally doable in the next few months. And probably the last one of the last things, unless there's anything in the chats that you want me to take a look at, I just wanted to take a look at some of the Solana projects, just to touch base on where we are. I can see, just looking at prices, that we've been suffering a bit. So obviously Render, I personally bought a bunch here the other day just before leaving at $4.50. Looks like we dipped a little bit lower. I'm okay with that. This was portfolio, not leverage, and you can see this was the reason why, not leverage. I would have been stopped out, so my stop would have been just below this low here, and that week would have stopped me out. So instead I went with spot, and I'm happy with that. Happy to hold spot $4 to $12, but likely a lot higher for Render this cycle. I don't see, if we finally get the alt rally that we hope we do, I can see why Render, which is the leading AI possibly project, is not going to make any all-time high. So 3x, potentially even 5x from here for Render is not crazy to think. And PYTH, obviously largest Oracle project to compete with Chainlink on ETH, but really it's a cross-chain platform, and PYTH is very similar to what Link does, just on the Solana blockchain. So real price feeds and whatnot. So it's an Oracle solution, and at these levels, obviously we swept these lows down here. We have entered price discovery on the low, but I want to see some sort of strong price action. I have been accumulating PYTH every time I go into the green box. Now we are obviously below. I would like to see some sort of consolidation here for then eventually, or accumulation, I should say, for then eventually start taking out some of these highs and making some sort of bullish price action. So that's what I like to see from PYTH. At the moment, it's looking a little bit weak, but I think this just a reflection of the market. We haven't stopped dumping just yet, I think. Let's take a look at Jupiter. I know they had some unlocks and whatnot, so holding strong by the look of it. So this is a really good block of you can see this is a nice price action right here. As long as, again, we hold strong here and we don't start closing too low, because there's a big gap down here, you can see. So that's all liquidity. I don't like that. That's all liquidity. So if we can keep doing these higher lows, then it's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm actually quite tempted to potentially try a leverage, because it is at an extreme here. Something like this with the stop loss below these guys, and something like this potentially for a leverage on Jupiter. So current price action, let's have a look at what the lower time frame show us. A little bit of reaction, 15 minutes maybe. So yeah, we've got some breaker structure. We really kind of want to see this taken out. So if we see this taken out and then we can enter on the retest, this will be a nice entry there for Jupiter. So yeah, what we'll do, we'll set a little alarm here, alert, I should say. And I like to do this like this. So set on alert, and I'll say BOS enter long on retest. And that way I don't have to stare at the chart all day, because I won't be in front of the computer. I'll be eating okonomiyaki in Osaka today. So yeah, keep an eye on it. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll wait for the retest. No point in entering now, because that will be a bit of a gamble. But yeah, you saw it here live. So something like this. Make sure if you do decide to take this enter, I'll call it on Discord anyway. But we probably need to be a little bit wary of where the lows are. I've got a feeling this is just a bit of a trap. You can see here this lows. So we might need to have a little bit of a wider stop loss and do something like this. So a 1 to 3. Yeah. That's just liquidity, I think, ready to be taken out. I got to jump. No problem at all, Cappy. Thank you, thank you. Just wanted to give my 2 cents on the market with a fresh set of eyes. I know that everyone is kind of, a little bit deflated that this altcoin is not really starting. And I know I am a little bit, annoyed, but it's just part of the cycle. They want us to get bored. They want us to give up so that they can take our money. So stay strong, fam. Stay strong, stay patient. Opportunities are now. These are probably some of the lower lows that we are going to be seeing for a while. I've got a feeling Q2 is going to be quite explosive for the market. And to be honest, February, we're only 1 week in, 8 days in. Depends where you are in the world, but the end of Feb, I'm expecting some bullish price action. Historically, February is a bullish month. So only just started. Give it a few days. And yeah, if you have money stacked aside and you see projects, I'm looking at compound at $50. It's a really nice bet. Personally, for DeFi, Quantum is a really good ISO 222. At these levels, it's in my DCI zone. So I would like it closer to 65, but this is not a bad level to DCA. Even Uni, to be honest, even Uniswap, if you don't have any, if you have a good entry in Uniswap, there's no point in going up with your DCI, but Uni doesn't like to stay low at these levels for a long time. We are at $9 now. 9 to 18 is 2x from a very strong project. So we've got opportunities to still do a few X's in our portfolio. Personally, just stay strong and find what works for you. Personally, I'm going to buy some Casper today. Fam, thanks for the stream. Thanks for the company. And if you have any questions, just feel free to ping me in Discord. I will be answering anything there. Thanks, team. Ciao now.